What happened? She's got no wheels. All right, we'll talk about that later. But now I'm going to talk about my final mod. I think this is the final mod. Installed the Ducati, the Brembo HPK clutch perch. So this is the M, right? One that came with the bike. So remove that one and install the Brembo HPK clutch perch, which matches the Brembo RCS master, front brake master that I installed, which is fantastic. And so I wanted, instead of having this, which doesn't match with that, I decided to get that, which actually I think looks really good too. Actually, I think it looks better. I like the look of the Brembo RCS setup. So anyway, then I installed a shorty lever. So that's the shorty lever that comes with added. So the master, I mean this perch came with the long lever. So I installed the shorty lever. So the shorty lever, you can see how much shorter that makes it compared to, yeah. So I like shorty levers, and I just like this feel of this lever. Such a nice lever. Anyway, to get this to work though, this was really tricky. So I bought another, okay, so this is the OEM clutch switch. You can see it actually uses two switches, not one. And the way it works, here I'll put this down to show you, is you can see that there are two switches. So when you pull the clutch in, right, that first switch, you hear that? So that's the cruise control. That deactivates cruise control. And then the second one is your regular clutch switch, which lets you start the bike when you pull in the clutch. So this is cruise control, and then this is the regular clutch switch. So it was really tricky to try to get that to work on this. So instead of using this switch or using just a 2-wire switch, I bought another 2-switch setup. So that's another BMW basically. So that I wouldn't have to splice wires. So I just bought another switch. That way I don't have to splice any wires. I can just use the same plug. However, to get this to work is, if you can see in there, I had to, I'm only using the one switch. So I'm only using the clutch switch. So you can hear that? There's only one switch clicking. All right, not two. And if you look down there, you can see there's only one switch. So what I did was I zip tied the second switch. So the second switch is the one for cruise control. So, which is the first switch that would come on here is the cruise control switch. So that first one for cruise control. So what I did was I zip tied this down, this switch. So it's always down like that. So basically it's always on. And then only the second switch actually gets actuated or deactivated. So that first switch is basically like this now. And so this is the only switch that's working is the clutch switch. So what that does is, by keeping it down, so I first tried it by removing this this arm that activates the switch. I removed it. What that does though is doing that will not allow cruise control to activate. So because this always shows that the switch is on, and so it will not allow cruise control to activate. So so I put that back on, and then I zip tied it down to see what would happen. And so that does allow cruise control to still work. It just doesn't, you can't deactivate cruise control now when you pull in the clutch. So when I pull in the clutch, cruise control does not deactivate, which is fine because I actually don't ever deactivate the clutch. I mean, deactivate cruise control by pulling the clutch. I typically deactivate cruise control by either pulling in the brake or tapping on the rear brake. So that's how I normally do it anyway. So I don't really use the clutch. So that's not that. So that doesn't really make a difference to me. So, so yeah. So I got that to work. This has a nice indent feel. This is such a nice adjustment for the clutch here. Way nicer than that setup. Much nicer feel to use that. And then the reach, you know, this has this reach to adjust the reach of the lever, and this doesn't have that though, right? Yeah, there's no really adjustment for that. I don't really miss that though, so I don't really know. I had this one pretty much, I think, at the max anyway. I think that's the max setting. So this isn't anything that I miss. I like this feel. I like this lever. This is nice. So, and I like the look. So that it is. So there's my, and then I also I put in this cover. Also, this is the cover. If you look, this is the same cover. This is the BMW clutch cover that goes over the switch here as well. Actually, it goes like that. Yeah, so that's the cover goes like that on there. So I bought another cover. So I bought a cover and a switch, and I reinstalled that on there. So this took some work to get this to work. I had to drill holes into this. I had to drill 2 holes into that, and I drilled another hole where this red dot is. And then so you put the 2 screws there to and then drilled, and then the 2 screws are holding this switch on here, which you can't see, but there are 2 screws that are holding the new switch on there. And so that was a little bit of work. It was a little bit of work to get all that to align so that the switch would activate with the regular, but as you can hear, it works. Pull in right there. That's where the clutch pulls in, so it's a short pull. Boop. Anyway, that's my last mod. Oh, and then the wheels, real quick. The wheels in the shop, because they were leaking. They weren't holding air very well. And it turns out that when I tested, the rear wheel was leaking from the valve stem, around the valve stem. The front was also leaking from around the valve stem, but also leaking around the bead with the rim. So they're in the shop. There should be a warranty to get the valves stems. I think they have to replace the O-rings around the valve stems, is my guess, to stop the leak. But that should be back hopefully in a couple days. But there you go. I think that's my last and final mod. But otherwise, I think she's done, yo. She's done. That's what that looks like with the brembo levers from the top. Yeah, I like it. I prefer the brembo levers to the M levers. This is your M lever here. You can see M lever. It's the M lever. And the brembo. It's a better looking. And I like the short look. I like the curve arm. It's pretty. That's what I got. Alright, thanks for watching. Goodbye. Goodbye.